Stone Mountain, Georgia, where she lives. And I guess it doesn't really matter how old, how young, how middle-aged you are. You go visit your mother, and one thing's going to happen. You're going to wind up with a rake in your hand. And there I was, raking leaves, when I heard this cricket chirp. Time is short now. Time is short now. Yeah, time is short. I gotta finish raking these leaves. Look, my neighbors, they already had theirs packed up in a pristine plastic bag and lined up neatly on the corner. I gotta be just like them. So I started raking once again. But as soon as I did, this brilliant red-yellow leaf floated by and said, "That's not what he means. Just let go. Just drop into the wind and see where you're blown and buffeted." And I thought, I am hearing this. I gotta finish raking these leaves. So I started raking once again. But as soon as I did, this angry chorus of leaves answered back. "Don't you dare! Just listen today. Just listen to our symphony of decay. And I will tell you what they said. Though, my friends, you gotta understand that you cannot do justice to an opera by describing only the plot. Don't put us in plastic bags, man. You don't put that dead swan from Swan Lake in no body bag, do you?" And then I heard the wind perform a bird number. And let me tell you, she sang with such honest suffering that I too wept out loud. She sang with such honest suffering that she actually startled the neighborhood leaf blowers who admonished me to get back to work. So I started raking once again. But as soon as I did, this acorn plopped me on the ground of my head and said, "Forsake those pikers. Why, one dream of freedom is worth 10,000 acts of useless drudgery. Don't you see what their angle is? It's like when you're at work, right? Do any of you guys have a job? Well, it's like when you're at work, right? Like, have you ever had a job? You know, like when there's really nothing to do and your boss walks in and you find yourself pretending to look useful, doing useless things? That's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of what autumn would sound like without the constant sound of leaf blower, and then the wind, and the leaves, and the sky chimed in. Forsake the rake, blow off the leaf blowers, bag the damn bags themselves. And the wind turned cold. My friends, I saw standing before me, and I am not making this up, in the dimming light of dusk, was the Grim Reaper himself. Now, his appearance was not as I had imagined him to be. He was not wearing a black shroud or carrying a razor-sharp sight or in any other way dressed like an art student. Instead, he was wearing sort of tan khakis and had a Seattle Mariners baseball cap perched uncomfortably on the top of his head. And he looked up sort of uncomfortably from his paperwork. And let me tell you right now, death has a lot of paperwork. He said, "Excuse me, is this 237 Oakdale Lane?" "Well, yes," I said. "Well, there seems to be a mistake here, because I'm here to haul away the soul of some work-obsessed maniac who had a heart attack while raking leaves on his day off. Now, obviously this can't be you. I have nothing in my notes here about some silly flake lying on a leaf-strewn lawn muttering to his rusting gardening tools." Well, I knew that I could not fool a seasoned pro like death for long. So what would you do? I looked around and I saw those pristine plastic bags lined up neatly in my neighbor's yard. And I walked up to that corner and I pulled back my rake and I did a mighty swing and back the open. I recounted that famous fable. You all know the one about the grasshopper who takes up residence with a responsible ant during the length of one long winter? You know that story, right? Well, there's a little-known epilogue to that story I informed the court. It seems that during the length of that winter, the grasshopper taught the ant how to play the fiddle. And come spring, the ant quit his day job. And he and the grasshopper have been traveling the country as troubadours ever since. It seems that once the ant truly heard music, he can never go back to a commuter line of drab ants ever again. And it's the same with me. And I offer this story as the only proof of my sanity. I swear I'm not crazy.
Thank you very much. Again, that piece was written by me and my friend Phil. And the band here puts the music together, and that piece was composed by Frankie Hernandez over there, along with this song right here.